The one above all and the one below all are basically two sides of the same being. There's a weight, there's a counterweight. That's why the one above all has two sides. In more recent comics, he revealed himself the Hulk and kind of explained that's kind of why the Hulk is so overpowered. Is the reason on why Hulk's statement about him getting stronger with no limit should actually be taken literal, and it's not an exaggeration, because Gamma, the Hulk's whole thing, being powered by Gamma in the Marvel Omniverse is not just scientific, but also magic at the same time. This also explains why the Hulk is able to defy all logic and do stuff he shouldn't be able to do. His Gamma, the thing that's powering him up, is linked to the highest of the highest. Technically, the dark side of the one above all has some destructive feats. We've seen him possess beings in a far, far possible future and destroy moons by accident just by brushing against it, becoming larger than planet, strike and punch planets apart, crushed a star in his hand. So I don't understand when people say he doesn't have feats. He clearly has feats. He destroyed every planet in an infinite-sized universe or cosmos, messing up all the worlds. No planets, no stars, nothing. Imagine becoming the only thing left in the multiverse to where you destroyed everything in the multiverse, an infinite number of infinite-sized different planets. Each universe is infinite in size. How do you destroy everything in an infinite size universe, let alone an infinite number of infinite size universes? Like, how does that even work? That also is kind of a speed feat to where he did all this pretty quickly if he did it within a measurable amount of time, implying beyond infinite power. That when he possessed beings, the dark side of the one above all possessed a being and it destroyed everything in the multiverse. Yes, the one above all has a dark side of himself that's basically the ultimate hell lord of all hell lords. It's revealed that there are many hells, each one ruled by a devilish overlord, but is a small part of a far greater expression of evil. This right here pretty much tells how the hell lords in Marvel were even coming to pass. All of these hells are just bootleg versions of the true hell lord, the one below all, which is the lowest of the low. Since the one below all is the ultimate hell lord, Bruce Banner is very smart and he theorized this cosmic Satan, the dark side of the one above all, is the reason why Noel, the god of the symbiotes, is even here. He theorized that Noel could be like a little small piece of the one below all. You can almost think about it like the one above all having two forms, his creation mode and then his destructive mode. Usually when you think of the cosmic beings in Marvel and the hierarchy, your list, give or take, would probably look something like this with the Skyfathers, Celestials, Infinity, Eternity, Living Tribunal. There's implications that the Living Tribunal isn't the actual god. Hell lords like Mephisto even say he's not God, he's just the biggest kid in the playground. Even beings like the Living Tribunal, he basically exists in all multiverses simultaneously, more than one multiverse apparently, and he's just a servant of somebody even higher. When the cosmic beings have meetings, Living Tribunal says his authority comes from on high. The Living Tribunal is called a representative of the one who is above all. Odin implies that there is a supreme god way above himself. Beings like the Watcher even correct people for calling the Silver Surfer all-powerful and saying there's only one being that deserves that name. They're more than likely talking about the one above all. You can even argue there's like a running gag that the one above all is literally just the writer of Marvel Comics. Like all the different writers that have written Marvel Comics, you can argue that's basically the one above all. Because I find it convenient whenever the characters interact with a super almighty being, it looks like actual real life writers like Jack Kirby, literally drawing and creating a world live so the other characters can see it. This seems to be a running gag on how Stan Lee would just pop up in comics, which you could argue could be the one above all. Even in live action, there's always a mysterious being that makes funny cameos in the movies. And I'm pretty sure he isn't normal, because why would just some random guy from Earth be in space talking to cosmic beings like the Watchers in live action? You see what I mean? This could all just be the one above all, existing everywhere simultaneously, all at once without a care in the world. Pages like this are very important because Thor basically narrates for us and breaks down the cosmic being hierarchy. And based on all this, you got to get an understanding of the one above all. Thor talks about how strong Asgardians is, how strong himself is, and Thor talks about how his father's way above him, and talks about how Hercules and his father Zeus, Odin, and etc. at this point in time, before they got the Odin Force and all that stuff, they was way below their fathers, above all the Asgardians, including himself combined. This is important to note because beings lower, you can argue lower than Skyfather tiers, beings lower in the hierarchy of Marvel like Hercules, are strong enough to lift infinitely massive weights for 3 hours, y'all. And this being is nowhere near the top of Marvel's cosmic hierarchy in his base state. But yet he can do incredible myth feats by holding the weight that Atlas had to hold, lifting infinitely massive weights based on the handbook, immeasurably strong weights. And Hercules and Thor at this point in time are considered pathetically low in the cosmic hierarchy of power when it comes to other higher ends. So off rip, we know the one above all can lift infinite massive weights, the weight of the universe. If his low level creations can do this kind of stuff, of course, the weight of his fist would obviously feel worse than infinite mass landing on your face. Obviously, this should also apply for his blast power too. He's an energy projector. He can punch hard. He got everything. Yeah, just to comprehend the madness we're talking about, Thor is nowhere near at the top of the hierarchy, and he can create Big Bang-like force with his hits and make hits that erupt across all planes of reality, make shockwaves because he's hitting so hard that go across the whole cosmos or universe. Same with Hercules, he can punch and shake the universe. Thor can throw his Mjolnir strikes so hard, he can shake the heavens. Thor and Hercules simply clashing with each other. They can break the heavens and even the sky if they're not careful. How the heck do you break the sky? Imagine what his hits would feel like. Let's look at the Sky Fathers, right? Characters like Odin and Zeus, who are still pathetically low in the hierarchy compared to the higher ends. Like the Living Tribunal, which is confirmed he's above, which I ain't got to him yet. Let's just look at what Odin tiers can do real quick. Skyfather tiers that are not up here, down here, can blast with so much raw force, dying suns get reignited, long dead galaxies are shattered, blast with so much power that the shockwaves ripple across every plane of reality. Multiple realms are being affected. That's why they can extinguish stars themselves. Everybody in the universe can feel their clash. The universe was in jeopardy. Skyfather's fights are so intense that they are basically being waged on every plane of existence. Skyfathers can affect the multiverse, tearing the very fabric of the multiverse. Doctor Strange was sensing if simple Skyfathers within the universe that the one above all has created have this kind of power, and they're still not the highest, what the heck do you think the one above all can do if lower tier beings can quake the multiverse and wage war across every plane of reality? Beings this low in the hierarchy. We ain't even talking about beings up here, and up here. As mighty as Mephisto is, he even straight up admitted that he believes the one above all is above him, who can clash with other Hell Lords in raw power and by accident possibly destroy 2 or even 3 universes by accident by fighting another Hell Lord. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but I'm back to it. The one below all is literally above all these Hell Lord beings. These beings are omnipotent in their realm. The realm is them. I don't know how our minds can fathom this, but picture this. An infinite sized realm is still only a piece of the one below all. And there's a whole bunch of different Hell Lord realms that are infinite in size. Mephisto just happens to rule one of them, then the other Hell Lords rule the other ones. You see what I mean? Like, these infinite places are still small pieces of the one below all, or the below place. And these Hell Lords in their realm could be considered higher dimensional type being. These one hell dimensions are infinitely transcendental compared to the normal universe, the normal reality. And these humongous multiverse-sized places are smaller than the below place or just little pieces of the one below all. Like, that's hard to fathom. 2 Hell Lords fighting, like Mephisto and somebody else, could cause omniversal Armageddon. And Mephisto straight up stated that the one below all is above him. So, yes, this is crucial lore. As powerful as these Hell Lords are, they're all technically bootleg versions of the one below alls, basically. The below place is dubbed as the very concept of hell, the foundation, the bedrock. When you deep dive into it, there's beings that are not even the highest, like celestials, that are higher dimensional beings that are so big, they're basically one being linked across all the multiverse simultaneously at the same time, and they're considered this freaking low. Like, what? There's times where Skyfathers have tried to get buck with Celestials. It's even talked about in narration that the Celestials are even too much for all fathers. Well, you could say at least certain tier Celestials, you can say, obviously. Not every Celestial is equal, obviously, but I'm talking about higher end Celestials like Arsham can withstand blasts from 3 Skyfathers blasts fused together. That's the kind of power I'm talking about. Each of these Skyfathers being similar to each other in raw blast power, each of them being able to tremble the multiverse, affect every plane of reality, possibly destroy a multiverse, that kind of power. Like, Arsham Celestials are still above them, and Celestials are still not above the one above all. And do we even need to get on the fact that characters like Beyonder exist in Marvel Universe? Okay, these characters are strong, but the further you get on the right, they get stronger and stronger. To where we get into Eternity itself, a cosmic being that's pretty high in the hierarchy. Eternity is literally the manifestation of the universe or multiverse itself. It already knows what's going to happen before it happens because it's literally the beginning and the end. Eternity is time incarnated, literally time space itself that's alive. When he raises a hand which holds whole universes within it, past and present and future, all cascade into the mind. In a way, he's not just the physical universe, he's the literal concept of time itself in the universe. Like, the same eternity that you met in 1995 is the same eternity you're meeting in 3066. No matter where you go in time, it's still the same being. There is no such thing as a young him. It's the same him. So it's kind of hard to sneak attack eternity. He experiences time as a repeating time loop. This is where we get into the higher dimensional stuff that I don't really like explaining because most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I say it, but it's so weird to think about stuff being bigger than infinity, right? Eternity himself has to make, they call them embodies, manifestation bodies. So his form that you see in the universe, like with our favorite characters, Hulk, Doctor Strange and them, the one of him you see is like a manifestation of his true self because, yeah, you're in that one universe with that one eternity, but there's also an eternity over here in this universe, which is the same personality all linked to one, but just separated into embodies. Then there's eternity over here, there's an eternity over here, and so on throughout the multiverse. Then there's a ultimate eternity that is bigger than all of these like eternities that are in this universe that is like basically him as well. Like it just gets ridiculous. Like he's a higher dimensional being, higher than infinite. Like you can say these little avatars that are still absurdly powerful are an infinitesimal part of himself. Like it's just a small piece of his infinite self. So the versions you see our favorite characters interact with are basically just shadows of their real selves. Like you didn't really defeat anything. It's like to them, it's just a visualization of what they really are, just for fun, really. It's even talked about how the cosmic beings, if they were in their true selves, the Infinity Gauntlet wouldn't even be able to take them on. They call their avatar bodies shadow reflections. It's even talked about how they don't really have a true shape or size. It's just a concept used for our minds to be able to perceive eternity. It's even the embodies or fake bodies. I mean, if you want to get technical, if we're talking about the true form, the multiverse eternity, everything within the multiverse is just a dream. He's literally dreaming all of existence because he is everything, like eternity. Eternity is a being that transcends all levels of reality and dreams. An infinite number of universes he's above or transcends. Everything we know of is a mere flickering thought in his measureless consciousness. I'm actually getting tired of saying the word infinite, but yeah, all these infinities on top of infinities. And the one above all transcends all this mess. I mean, just think about it. Think of yourself, right? You weigh 150 pounds, right? You can obviously move around 150 pounds because you yourself are the living embodiment of 150 pounds in real life. Like, just think about that. Like, think about eternity, how much eternity can live when it's literally the multiverse itself walking around all that easily liftable to him, right? And the one above all is above him. So he can live an infinite amount of multiverses if eternity can, and he's leagues upon leagues above eternity. I mean, there's recent comics that will have eternity show respect to the one above all, calling the one above all Father. Eternity itself explains how they are cosmic beings, but they are not God. God rules all realities, implying there's beings above him, implying the one above all can do all what he can do or better. And just in case you're skeptical, wait a minute, what do you mean multiverses? Eternity is only one multiverse, right? Well, there is implications that Marvel is more than just one multiverse. It's like multiverses within a larger omniverse. There's implications there is multiverses because the living tribunal exists in all multiverses simultaneously, meaning this shouldn't be saying multiverse is right here. You could say the one above all can support the entire omniverse of Marvel. And the size of the omniverse is still smaller than the one above all's true size. There's tons of beings in this Marvel multiverse or omniverse that have limitless power. Beings like Franklin Richards, he's technically above. I mean, there's characters that are not as mighty as the one above all that can create multiverses with an S. So the dark side of the one above all, the one below all possessed somebody and killed Franklin Richards. So yeah, he's definitely above beings that can destroy multiverses or create them. He even beat Galactus. I don't know how much more they can break it down when it comes to eternity. One eternity would ensure a boundless universe. A multi-eternity would ensure a boundless multiverse. The names for eternity switches back and forth. Sometimes they call eternity the multiverse. Then other times they call eternity the omniverse itself. I would like to believe that this should be taken seriously because even in older comics, they talk about how there's more than one multiverse in Marvel. It's broken down like this. The eternity you see is just one little piece. The universe itself is merely one cell of a higher multiversal eternity, part of a cosmic lineage. So yeah, multiverse, omniverse, sometimes they get used as synonyms. Gets a little confusing. Here's another example of the multiverse or eternity itself being dubbed as an omniverse itself. That was a whole plot point. They had to go outside of reality, outside of the omniverse, which is eternity. The one above all being above this being, what the heck would the weight of his punch be? So I've talked about a lot of these cosmic beings. It just all makes the one above all look more impressive because the living tribunal is even mightier than all these beings I've been talking about, at least at this point in time, without counting any buffs that these characters have gotten over years. Because this is an old comic, but during this time period, in this hierarchy, it's straight up stated that the creator of all these beings has way more power than his creations combined. So all these characters I've just went over, combine all that power, he still has more power. That's so many stacks of infinite on top of infinite, it's not even really measurable, bro. Like, characters this low tier can lift infinite massive weights. They're nothing compared to their dad, who can shake the multiverse, possibly cause a multiversal Armageddon. Skyfathers get left in the dust by beings like Eternity, who's literally the embodiment of the multiversal Omniverse. 3 Skyfathers put together can't even take on higher end celestials, and then this being's above them, and then all these beings combined, the one above all is above them. Like, it's just ridiculous. The one above all literally says he's the one above all. I see through many eyes, I built with many hands. They are themselves, but they are also me. Like, he's literally everything. He is all powerful. He's described as the highest of the highest here. There's no point of even talking about his speed. He's omnipresent, can exist everywhere, in everybody, all at the same time in the whole multiverse or omniverse. The one above all is so high end that he's straight up interpreted as the writer for Marvel Comics, Marvel Omniverse in general. It's like this pencil, they call it, look away, it's everything and nothing. The realm of the one above all. It's no doubt he's a reality warper. The highest level of reality warping using this pencil. A pencil that can probably change size, be bigger than the Omniverse itself, etc. Everybody knows the Phoenix is overpowered. The fire of the Phoenix is straight up stated to be the powers that's his, like this guy asked for you to take it back, implying that it's his power in the first place. And just in general, Phoenix Force beings are a threat for Galactus, cosmic abstract tier beings that are like siblings to the universe itself, eternity and such. You see what I mean? Since the one above all and the one below all are 2 sides of the same being, all these particles, gamma in general, all this stuff is an emanation of the divine. Gamma's that crazy. Everything that happens is a part of the one above all, who has many names, the one below all, the one above all others. Yeah. Matter of fact, he's so cosmic that every religion is a part of him. You know, all the different gods that exist. He is everything. As guardian gods, it doesn't matter. They're all just facets of the one above all who rules in a certain place, which I'm going to talk about now, which is known as the House of Ideas. This is a place outside of all creation. This is where everything is born. It's literally the name, the House of Ideas, the dwelling place of the one above all. Everything you know comes from this place. The House of Ideas, just stepping in the House of Ideas will destroy devilish type of beings, holy type of power. Just simply entering the House of Ideas, you get healed instantly. So even without the one above all being there technically, well, he's technically everywhere, but you know, even if he's not technically interacting with you directly, the house itself will just heal you instantly because it's a construct he created. That's why super powerful cosmic beings that want everything to be in their image try to get here. This is a place of infinite stories. It can recreate all of everything if you get access to this place. Having access to this place is basically better than having the Infinity Gauntlet. Just being in this place, you can imagine your friends being here to help, and they are here to help. This is totally better than Infinity Gauntlet. Just being in the house, in the crown of creation, you can step outside of the multiverse entirely. Leave the story forever, make your own way. They even say, how is something defeated by a house? It's not a house, the house. The one above all's lair is the birthplace of all that was, all that is, and all that yet may be. Matter of fact, just a piece of his higher dimensional pencil that he always uses to create everything, somebody just using a piece of God's pencil, dubbed as a cosmic pencil, they was planning on undoing things of reality with it. There's literally beings that have infinities in them, and they're bigger than those infinities. Like, it doesn't even make no sense. All these infinity type beings are smaller than the one above all. I mean, his dark side, for Pete's sake, freaking killed almost every being in existence in a possible future. Personally, I would say the best way to describe this being is omniversal multiplied by infinity. I mean, he's literally just the writers. And the only argument you can make to saying somebody can beat him in a one-on-one fight is literally using a piece of his power against them. A power you shouldn't be able to get. A device, the Astral Regulator, a device that allows you to absorb every cosmic being and just power stack. The Astral Regulator is a device that's supposed to isolate each reality from its neighbor. They are in a supposedly unreachable locations in each dimension. This is apparently the only thing he can't destroy. And some even argue if this was the real one above all in this comic series, so it's really contentious. But I guess you could say his only weakness is his own power. Astral Regulator, something he made. Something that Thanos ended up getting. They explain the crisis here a little bit more here, how it's a multi-dimensional crisis, but it's technically still something he made. The reason why these characters are so powerful, something that even allows you to absorb multiple cosmic entities at the same time. And just literally power stack. Cosmic being on top of cosmic being. all. Something surpasses the infinity gem, something that can solo cosmic entities in their avatar states. He is above this kind of power. I shouldn't really have to go over all the different versatile abilities he got. Like literally every Marvel character you can think of, he got their abilities. He shows Peter all the beings he saved. Please excuse me if in the video you get offended about me calling him a he. When technically, I guess the one above all is literally everything. He wouldn't have a gender technically. That's just for us mere mortals or us lower beings. That's why you might see the one above all be a woman, then in the next sentence it's a man. He is whatever your mind perceives at the moment, I guess. Like, I'm talking about many looks. If you think the Living Tribunal got a lot of faces, let's not get on the many faces of the one above all. He can cancel out Peter's spider sense. His word is law, so if he tells you, you know who I am, he automatically knows who you are. He looks like some random beggar. He can change the way he looks, can heal to Reed Richards here, can resurrect beings, even if they used to be dead. Since you already know the one above all and the one below all are two sides of the same coin, the one below all can take control of beings. He has the power to erase things from existence if he wants to. The one guy that stands above all that can bust the higher dimensional beings. The thought of this guy putting on his boxing gloves and boxing with beings is a scary thought. Nobody would stand in his way. But before I get going, y'all, I gotta give a quick thanks to the donators. It helps out a lot. Like, share, subscribe. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.